Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name's Julie, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're existing, thanks for coming back and supporting me. This is a video which hopefully will be part of a new series which I haven't named yet, but I'm thinking of something along the lines of the Crafty Cafe. I have got a cup of tea in my Bridgewater spotty mug, and this is going to be a different style of video to what I've had recently. So most of my videos have been weight loss and sort of food related and the odd haul, but I'm really passionate not only about food but about craft, so I decided that I want to incorporate some craft videos into my channel. So yeah, so if you're into that kind of thing, you're very welcome. I'd love to know what sort of things you're making at the moment and things like that, but I'm going to go through a few things. I've made some notes on my iPad next to me so that I don't forget to mention something. But yeah, hopefully this will be a weekly series and I'll be going through the things that I've bought that are sort of craft related during the week, things I've worked on. Obviously if I don't make a huge amount of progress, it'll just be a very quick video, and other videos might be a bit longer. But yeah, I just thought I'd do this and see how it goes. I'm very excited. From a craft point of view, background for me is that I started crafting at a very young age. My great aunt Lila, who was my grandma's twin sister, used to come over. In fact, no, she wasn't her twin sister. I think she was just her sister. Or was she a twin? My grandma was a twin, but I think her twin might have been a different aunt. I can't remember. And she's no longer here for me to ask her. She used to come over at Christmas and various other special occasions, and she taught me to knit when I was tiny, and I mean very young. So I've always been interested in knitting. Crochet came much later. Crochet I wanted to learn for years and years and years, and I tried doing self-teaching. This was days before YouTube, and I found it very difficult to follow a book to try and learn how to do it. And eventually I did join a little crochet group and sort of gone quite well and sort of picked it up quite quickly, and also had someone I worked with called Barbara who was really good at crochet, so I took the odd thing in to ask her as well. Crochet is very forgiving, so it's quite good if you're a learner, really, to sort of, once you've picked up the basics, to be able to sort of carry on and learn it, whereas knitting obviously is a bit more difficult and a bit trickier. I also did the odd bit of sewing, like when I was probably about 7 or 8 at school. I made a little patchwork cushion that had lace trim, and I made a rag doll and a little frog, a little cuddly frog. So I was very into all that kind of sort of crafty, stitchy sort of crafty many years ago, and it sort of carried me through my life. So I've picked up and left it. So at certain parts of my life I haven't done any, and other parts I've done quite a lot. So it is something I find very therapeutic and relaxing, and I'm really enjoying it. I do find that some of the crafts I do more in the winter than in the summer. I went through a stage of doing loads of cross stitch when I had Chloe as a baby, when I was on maternity leave, and then I've not done so much cross stitch in recent years. I have got some embroidery, but I'll talk about that in another week, another weekly video, because I'm not doing that at the moment. But yeah, so I just thought I would start off by showing you what I have bought recently, and I'm going to probably at some point put my glasses on because I can't see a thing without them. If you hear my voice sounds a bit nasally, I've actually bought some of this stuff during the week, but I have been struck down by another really horrible cold. I did work, but I wasn't very well. I finished work early one of the days, and I've just been sneezing and snivelling and not really fit for going on camera. I'm still a bit sort of like red and sore everywhere, so apologies if I look horrendous, but I didn't want to wait any longer because some of the stuff I was kind of waiting to show you before I started on doing them, and I really want to get cracking. So first things first, I'll do it in order of when I've bought things. So Eddie and I went on holiday to Wales a couple of weeks ago for his 50th, and I picked up a few bits of wool, not a huge amount, just a few bits while we're away, and I'll quickly show you those. You'll see me bending down because I've got stuff in front of me on the floor. So the first thing I bought from the cardigan, it would be normally in the Guildhall market, but they've actually moved out of the Guildhall while they're renovating it, and there's a little wool shop, and I found this. This is Serdar Crofter. Let me put my glasses on so I can read it properly for you. This is called Serdar Snuggly Crofter Baby Fair Isle Effect Chunky, and this is 55% nylon, 45% acrylic. Each ball is 50 grams, and it doesn't really give you a shade. It's shade 0501. Now the lady at the shop said that they've actually discontinued doing these because I think they are doing some of the Crofter but not the Baby Snuggly, and it's really cute if you look at it. It's like lilacs and sort of beige and browns and greens, very sort of muted natural tones. I thought it was really, really gorgeous. And I think this was reduced to £1.75 a ball. So I bought what she'd got left. So she'd got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 balls of that. No real plan in mind for it, but I just thought it was lovely. So it's going into my stash until I can think of what to do with it. I need to find a project where I just need 5 balls. So for me currently, that wouldn't be enough to do a jumper or a cardigan, I don't think. But it might be that I do a little blanket with it. I'm not sure yet. But it's such soft, lovely wool. I just couldn't resist it. If she had more, I'd have picked it up, but that was it. I then went into another craft shop. This one was in Aberystwyth. And I really, really love the Sirdar Happy cotton, which is little balls of cotton for crocheting with. And I saw these chenille, and I bought 2 of them in green. So it's recommended. This again is colour 0027. It's only 15 grams, and it's for a 3.25mm crochet hook or a UK 10 3.25mm knitting needle. And it's really cute, like chenille. So I bought 2 of the green. Obviously, if you know from my channel, my daughter's got a craft shop. She's an illustrator, so she's got a shop that she sells stationery and illustrator products on Etsy, but she's really, really into frogs. She makes lots of frog stuff. I don't think I've got, there is stuff on the wall next to me I could show you, but so I thought I would actually do a little frog for her, so I got a white as well. So that's those 3, and I can't remember how much they were off the top of my head. They weren't hugely expensive, but I went into the wool shop and I didn't want to come out empty-handed, and I thought that was quite cute, so I bought those. Then something that I haven't bought, but what I got given for Mother's Day. So Eddie had bought me this, which was off Amazon, and it's a roll. It's not a particularly sturdy roll, with some wooden knitting needles in, which is really, really great. And you can just sort of roll it up and fasten it away. And they go all the way through from a really small needle, I don't even know what size that is, up to a 12mm US size 17. I don't think the small one's even got a measurement on it, but it's really, really, really tiny. Oh, it has got a measurement. Will I be able to read it though? 2mm US size 0 is the smallest. So I do like knitting on wooden knitting needles. I've currently been doing my most recent project on metal needles, and I've been really, really struggling to keep them on the needles. So I'm looking forward to starting with some wooden ones on one of my next projects. However, I don't want to switch mid-project just in case they are a slightly different size. So I'm leaving the project that I'm currently working on the metal needles for the time being, just in case. Because obviously if these are from Amazon and they're imported, they may not be exact size, so I don't want to risk it really. Let me just quickly fasten them up so I don't drop them everywhere before I put them down, because I'm likely to do that because I'm a bit clumsy. I'm just going to have a very quick sip of my tea, although I think it's really hot because I've got a bit of a dodgy throat. Cheers if you're having a drink along with me. Right, next up is a book. So Eddie bought me this book. I think he was feeling bad because the boys are boys for Mother's Day, and Ewan's taken me out for a meal, but I've not gone yet. I think it's supposed to be today. Today's Saturday, and Tom just wasn't bothered. Tom said, why should I buy you something for basically giving birth to me? And he's very much like that, not particularly emotional, so Eddie makes up for it. So he bought me this big book of crochet. So this is more of a beginner's book, if I'm honest. It shows you the basics of all the stitches, but it actually is really quite good when you look at it, because it shows you like things like half treble crochet, etc. But then it goes on and teaches you how to identify and count stitches. Those sort of things are things I always struggle with, particularly with certain types of wool. But the bit that was really interesting was that it's got like pattern stitches. So it's got all about granny squares and granny stripes and things like that. But it's also got like herringbone stitch and different stitches, different patterns. Mixed grit stitch, granite stitch or granite, waistcoat stitch, lemon peel stitch. So it's really good if you've got that in a pattern and you want to refer back to it and you don't have to keep looking it up. It's really good that it's got those in there for you to refer back to. And it's also got like the chart at the bottom, so you can see if you work off a chart. So it's quite good as a little reference book. So whilst at the start when I flicked through I thought, oh, I don't need this, it's really sort of basics, it's just really quite handy, and things like offset arches and things. So if I get to the stage where I'm designing my own patterns, I can actually use this in order to pick up different types of stitches and incorporate it. So it's really useful, to be honest. I'm really, really grateful for that. So they're Mother's Day gifts. I'm going to be cutting a fair bit of coughing out of this, so that was a cough if I cut it out. Next up is stuff that I bought this week. So I popped out on my lunch break because the sewing shop in the sort of next town along to me had something I have had my eye out for that I haven't been able to get, which I'll show you in a moment. So I nipped out my lunch break to go and get it, and I picked up another couple of bits whilst I was in there. So the first thing I got whilst I was in there is this. So this is a panel, which is, this was £8, and it's a panel of, I think it's 40 flags. So obviously you can decide whether you want to do it double-sided or single-sided to make bunting. So I thought with the coronation coming up, that might be quite useful. I've never had bunting. I hate the plasticky sort of bunting, and this would be really good from an environmental point of view, because obviously you just reuse it. So if anything happens to the current monarch, I can bring it out again for the next one. So that's the first thing I bought. So I shall be doing that at some point between now and May when the coronation is happening. The next thing I bought in there was some more of this. So this is some more of the chenille, and it was actually cheaper in here than it was in Aberystwyth. I've got a feeling in Aberystwyth it was about £1.45 a ball, and I think here it was like £1.15 or something. It was definitely cheaper. So I bought this one in like a sort of coral shade. I bought a real pale yellow, and I bought this one which is more of a cream. It's not as white as the other one that I bought. So my idea with this was I wanted to do a baby chick, and that would be the beak potentially, and that's obviously the body. But I also thought that if that didn't work out from a colour point of view, I might be able to do a little daffodil. So I have got a few ideas for that, so that's why I bought that. The next thing I bought is all in one bag here. And this, I'm very excited. I'll have to insert a photo into here somewhere, either side, of what this is. So basically this is a crochet along coronation blanket for the coronation, and in the bag, so basically you register on the Sirdar website for the crochet along, and each week they will email you, and you've got to download the pattern for free, and then you can print the pattern off. So I've got currently weeks 1 to 3. Now they started this on the 8th of March, so we were, the day I was in Aberystwyth actually, or no, the day after I was in Aberystwyth. So the day we went for Eddie's birthday, the wool shop where I bought the chenille from had a poster in the window, and I had a quick look inside and I couldn't see anything, so I just thought, oh, maybe it's not out yet, maybe it's not started yet. Well, it started the day after. I should have asked her really, but didn't. And when I came back, I've been looking, and all of my local wool shops have been out of stock. You haven't been able to get it at all. This particular shop is more of a sewing shop. She's recently branched into wool, and basically she got these bags in and put them under the stairs and forgot about them, so she's the only person in our area that has got stock. Now I do know since then that my sister, I rang my sister on the way over and said, do you want to pick them up? But she had no idea what I was talking about, so she said, no, it's fine, don't worry about me. And then when I spoke to her when she got home, she was like, oh, I'm kicking myself now that I didn't do it. She's not really as into crochet as me, she's not been doing it for as long, but I just said to her, this is really like, it teaches you all the stitches. A lot of them are stitches that a beginner can do. So I said, have a look at it. Anyway, we found that the Wool Warehouse has still got stock. So for this bag I paid £30, but you can get it at the Wool Warehouse for £28. Now I don't know whether it's still in stock at the time I put this video out, and I don't know whether you have to pay delivery on top of that or how long it will take to come, but I wanted to get it. As soon as I saw they had it in stock on their Facebook page, I wanted to go over and get it. So in the bag you get, obviously the patterns are online, you download them. You get all the wools you need to make the blanket. So I've not actually had these out of the bag yet, but yeah, so you get, I'm just looking, and these are not, I don't know if these are the genuine wools or not. Hayfield bonus DK, I thought it was supposed to be. Oh, it is Sirdar Makes, yeah, Hayfield bonus. I don't know if there's an actual Sirdar genuine set or whether this is the genuine set, but it's obviously compatible colours because they're all in the bag. So there's like a purple colour, shade purple, there's a red, a real deep pillar box red. There's like a mustardy yellow colour, a sage green. I don't know how well these will come out on camera because obviously it always distorts things. There's quite a pale sort of like lime green. There's 13 of these. I don't think I'm going to be able to hold them all. There's like, I don't know if you can tell that or not, but it's like a speckled sort of like blue and white. These look like they're the same shade. These are like a baby blue. They call it frost blue on the actual wool. Is that the same? Yeah, 2 of those. And then there's also, I'm going to have to put some of this down. Ooh, just kick my camera. There's another blue, like a, it's not lilac blue, but it's more of a cornflower. Yeah, cornflower blue. Exactly what it says on it. And then there's 4 of the same, which are these, these are a cream colour. So you get 4 of those. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 is exactly right. So 13 balls of wool, and this was £30 this kit, but you also get this, which is like a little stitch, you can stitch it in, it's like a little official crochet along, so when you finished it you can put that on and make it so that it's a proper keepsake. So I'm very excited to start that. Like I say, I'll put a photo in I'll put a photo in of what it should look like when it's finished, and obviously I'm a bit behind. I think the week 3 pattern's just come out, so I've got all 3 of those downloaded. So I'm going to make a start on that hopefully today. So next week I hopefully will be able to show you the progress I've made. I don't expect to catch up 3 weeks over this weekend, but I'm going to obviously try and push on as fast as I can with trying to catch up on the project. So that's that one. And then that's, let me look at my list of what I said I'd talk to you about, just so I don't forget anything. Oh, I just realised I didn't bring something down that I needed to bring down. I'll talk you through it this week and I'll show it you next week. So one project that I've currently, these are my whips that I've currently got on the go. So this, if you've watched me for a while on my normal vlogs, is some wool I bought, gosh, it must have been, was it last October? This is the second ball that I'm on now. And basically I'm making a jumper. So the jumper that I'm making, and again, if you've watched me for a while, you'll be familiar with this jumper because I've talked about it a lot on my channel. It's a bit of a labour of love. So the pattern is looking very battered now because I've been having it out and about everywhere, but basically it's this one, and it's to make, is it called a particular name? It's a Stylecraft pattern for special Aran wool, and it includes larger sizes. So the size I'm doing, I think, would be equivalent of like an extra large, I think. I'm trying to see if it's got an actual name. It's just 9555, the pattern. But it's a bit of a labour of love. So I did the front, I finished the front a while ago, and I'll show you that. So this is the front with all the cable. It needs blocking, and it needs, obviously, like, it's been just screwed up in my bag, and it goes all the way down to a rib. So that's the front of my jumper. I do actually think it's going to be quite big on me, but that's fine. I prefer to have a big baggy jumper. But yes, that's the front of my jumper, and I'm now working on the back. And you're supposed to do the same pattern for the back, but I opted not to because I just wasn't enjoying the pattern as much as I thought I would. So I decided on the back I'm just going to do plain knit. So I'm this far along. There's the rib, and I've got that far, and I think I've got probably about another, I've got to go up to where my stitch marker is for my armhole sleeve, or my sleeve. So I'm measuring it along next to my pattern, but I'm pleased with the progress I'm making. There is 170 odd stitches on here on each side. So, and I'm not the fastest knitter. I never pretend to be the fastest knitter. I have got faster since doing this. I certainly with pearl stitch, I used to have to really concentrate, whereas now I can do it whilst I'm watching TV. I've always been able to do that with knit stitch, but pearl stitch I've always had to kind of concentrate. But this is where I mean that I've been really scared of the stitches coming off my needle because it is really, really full. I have to constantly push it back. and when you're further down where the rib was, it was quite hard to keep it on the needles. In hindsight, I should have bought circular needles because of how big the project is. It would have made it far easier, but I didn't, and I'd already started it when I realised, and I hadn't got any circular needles that size, so I decided just to plod on with what I had. So I'm not far off there. I was hoping this week to get the back of this finished before I brought in my crochet blanket project, but again, I had a few late nights with work, and if I start this at like 9 o'clock at night, I realistically only get 2 or 3 rows done because I'm too tired and I'm just sitting knitting tired. So I'll get 2 or 3 rows done and that's it. And this is like, well, I think it's about, each section of the cable pattern is about that big, and that's about 28 rows. So it's probably like 150 rows or something ridiculous. It's a lot. So it's slow progress. I really wanted to finish it in time for wearing it this year for the winter, and I've decided that by the time I get this back bit done, we're probably going to be out of proper thick jumper season. We'll probably be into lighter sweaters. We shall see. I mean, I've still got the sleeves and the joins and the neckline to do, which I haven't done for quite a while, so it'll take me a bit longer. So I'm not going to rush. I'm putting this as a project that will probably take me, and I'll be wearing it next autumn, which is fine. That's fine. So that's the project I've got going. The other project I've got going, which I haven't brought down to show you, and it's not very easy to carry, is, unless it's in this bag, it's in this, it might be in this bag actually, because I took this on holiday. It is really like not easy to pull out and show you this, but so I bought this pattern on Etsy a few weeks ago, and I was saving it to take on holiday, and then when I went away, I just didn't make a huge amount of progress. I just kept doing my jumper. So this pattern is for a wall hanging, and it's that. So it's called the Fern in the Window Wall Hanging, and it's like tapestry crochet. So I thought it might be a nice project to try, just to have to hang on the wall. I won't use a twig for mine, I will use a wooden dowel because I don't really like that twig look. But yeah, so that's my project that I'm working on. And I've started it. I'm not completely happy with it. The wool I got in a sewing shop in Ilkeston, and I'm not terribly happy with the colours. I've subbed the colours out, so I'm not using the same colours as the pattern exactly. I couldn't get the cream and the taupe that I wanted, so I've substituted it. And I'm this far along. I'm a bit tangled up because you've got several balls on the go. So you can see that that's the, like I've woven my ends in on the brown. Actually, you can't tell it on the front, so that's the front. And you can see that that's the bottom of the pot, and it's the window that you can see. But I'm not terribly in love with it at all, and I don't know if it's the wool or if it's the pattern. And I found the changeovers of colour on this bit I wasn't too happy with, even though I did follow the way that you're supposed to do it. And actually I was doing it so that I was keeping all the balls attached and dropping the wool and picking up the new shade. And for some reason I just kept finding that the wool was in the wrong place, and I don't know if I was just when I was holding it to the front or back when I was moving on, I don't know if I was just holding it in the wrong place because I was not really concentrating very much when I was doing it, because obviously we were on holiday. But I think it's the grey I don't like. I just don't think I like the grey with the beigey colour, and I wish I'd have gone out and got a cream and used this for behind the window. So I don't know if I love it enough. So I don't know whether I'm just going to frog it and start again, or whether I'm going to just put it to one side for now. But I don't love it. Whether it'll improve or not, I don't know. But I don't love it. So all my balls are attached. I made myself these little bobbins on holiday with wool on, because I hadn't got any ones that I'd bought, and I hadn't got any I know people use pegs and things. I hadn't got any of those with me, so I just made my own out of some cardboard, and I got all my balls of wool with me. But I really, you know, when you love a project, you can't wait to pick it up and carry on with it. And this one, I just don't feel like that. So I'm really excited to start the crochet blanket because I feel like the jumper is a labour of love and I'm enjoying doing it, but it's one of those jobs that I can't do quickly and you can't see the results. Just going to sip my tea. You can't see the results of your efforts very quickly because it's so slow to progress and so slow to build. So I'm really looking forward to having some sort of project that I can see immediately building. So I've watched the start of one of the crochet along videos for the blanket, and you start off by doing the middle granny square, which is quite a big granny square, and it's really straightforward, and I'll be able to see it progressing quite quickly, and I think that's what I need at the moment. So I think I'm going to park I might still do the jumper a bit in the evenings if I get a chance, but I've got to catch up on my blanket first, so you probably will see that again at some point. The other crochet project, the tapestry one, I don't know. Like I say, I paid for this pattern on Etsy. You don't realise, but I stopped to sneeze there. I paid for this pattern on Etsy, and I don't know what it is. I love the pattern. I love the picture. I've come to the conclusion it's the wool. So the wool they tell you to use in here, does she recommend it? She's put red hot, super saver in Aran, and then loopers and threads impeccable in soft taupe and putty. Whether or not if I go and get the wool that she recommends, whether it will come out differently, because I'm not using Aran, I think I'm using DK weight, and that's the one thing I'm not an expert in, is when people start talking about different weights of wool, I really do struggle to know the difference. Obviously I can tell a thicker wool, but the difference between some of the weights that they recommend on American patterns in particular I struggle with. But yeah, I'm using this DK wool, and I just wonder whether if I did it in a slightly thicker wool, whether it would have been better. I did actually think about doing it in cotton, but obviously cotton's quite expensive, and it's quite a big picture, so I sort of shelved that idea. But I might frog it and I might restart and see with a different wool. I don't know yet, we shall see. But yeah, that's all I've got to talk to you about at the moment. Like I said, I've got an embroidery project that I think I got for Christmas off my sister, and I also got the Edward's Menagerie book, which I think I got for, did I get that for my birthday or for Christmas last year? That is the same people that do all of the Toft crochet patterns, and it's got lots of animals that you can crochet, and that is another project I want to do at some point in the future. So there's lots and lots of things I want to do and lots of things I want to work on. I think for such a long time I've been doing my job, and my job has taken over my life, that I've decided now that I'm going to start putting a bit of self-care involved, and I'm going to start making sure that I do my craft projects as well. And yeah, I also used to work more on my sort of like, I had an Etsy shop and I was working on with Chloe, so every time I tried to do something I kept thinking, is this going to be sellable? Whereas now I'm thinking I want to do some stuff just for me as projects for either the home or for me to wear. So yeah, I think I'll be talking about in another video either next week or the week after about another project I want to look at, which is as well as doing the jumper that I'm working on for next winter, I want to do some sort of summery, either a t-shirt or vest that'll be crocheted in cotton. So I'm going to be on the lookout for some patterns for that. So if any of you have got any ideas of any patterns that you think I could look at, I would like to have, if it has a sleeve, something along the same lines as this, so that it sort of isn't up here on that part, because that makes my arms look quite fat. It's a little bit longer, or a vest so that it's not cutting off there. So that's my idea, and no other ideas really other than that. So I would prefer, I think, probably crochet, although I don't mind knitting. I don't mind knitting it. I'm getting quite back into the knitting again. So anyway, let me know your ideas. If you like this video, please pop a like on there. If you've got any ideas of any other things you'd like me to share in future videos, please let me know. Let me know what you're working on, if you're doing any craft projects at the moment. I think if you are here as part of my weight loss stuff and you've managed to stick around till now, it's a really good hobby to do in the evenings because it stops you snacking. So that would be one of my recommendation. When I'm stuck into my knitting, I don't really want to move, I just want to carry on doing it, and it stops me thinking about food. So that's another reason why I enjoy doing it. And I've got so much wool in my stash that I can use. I've got lots of projects I can potentially work on. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this hasn't been too boring, and whether you like the layout of this video or not, let me know. Like I say, I'm intending to do this once a week, probably. I'll be recording it over a weekend because I get more time to do it, and then I'll probably edit it and upload it so that it's out during the week at some point. But it'll definitely be one of those where you get a drink and we have a bit of a natter. I haven't ruled out in the future doing a live where I'm basically sitting crocheting and I'll chat to you live. But at the moment, I don't know if I've got enough subscribers and enough people that would want that. So you'll have to let me know if that's something you're interested in. I probably wouldn't be doing tutorials at the moment because I don't feel confident enough in my abilities to be able to teach somebody else, and I'm not a very good person for teaching. But I will obviously at some point perhaps do a crochet or knit along. I have lots of other crafts that I enjoy doing. If you see behind me, I've got a Cricut machine. So you might see some of those things at some point. It won't all necessarily be knitting and sewing. I forgot to show you these. I have got something else to show you. These two patterns I bought in the charity shop in the local town centre for 75p. So one of them is a blouse called the Tia blouse, and it's in sizes 6 to 30. And I think you can either do it as a short sleeve or a long sleeve. And then the other one is the Amelia set. So this is either a top or a dress. Again in sizes 8 to 30, 75p a pattern. So I'm going to have a go at dressmaking. Isn't my main thing. I don't really know anything about it other than I did go to the sewing shop where I bought the craft along kit, run sort of like sewing workshops, and I did go to one to make a dress. Oh, would have been probably 4 or 5 years ago, definitely pre-pandemic, and that was 3 years ago. I'm thinking maybe 5 years ago, and I got so far in making this dress and didn't finish it. It was one of those projects again where I didn't love it, so it got bundled up and I've still got it sitting in a cupboard unfinished somewhere. I think I lost a lot of weight, so it then didn't fit me, and I didn't want to adjust it, and it probably would fit me again now if I finished it. I perhaps should dig it out, but you know, because it's that long since I last worked on it, I don't think I even know where I got to. But she does a lot of like courses on how to do stuff, so I did learn a few bits about dressmaking, but there's still a lot to learn. But these look quite easy. They don't look like difficult patterns, so I might have a go at one of those one week, so you might see that appearing at some point once I've got some fabric. So yeah, thank you so much for watching once again. If you like it, pop a like on the video. Feel free to comment. Be kind, please. And yeah, that's it. If you haven't subscribed before and you like this kind of video, then please subscribe. Like I said, there should be one of these a week. And I should see you next week with another one. Take care. Bye.